says. Rivers Assembly serves Governor Fubara deputy notice of alleged gross misconduct. Former council chairman Ihuwa asks FCT Minister Wike to show proof of 10,000 youth employment. On the foreign scene, Iran's supreme leader to give speech about protest. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now let's begin the news this Friday afternoon from an elder statesman, Senator Andrew Uchendu, who is asking President Bola Tinubu to again intervene in the renewed political crisis in Rivers State. His comment comes after the Rivers State House of Assembly began impeachment moves against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu on Thursday. Senator Uchendu, who formerly represented Rivers East Senatorial District, tells correspondent Martha Okere that presidential intervention could also serve as a viable solution to the ongoing crisis in the state. He also proposed convening a roundtable dialogue with all parties involved in the crisis.
Call for the roundtable of themselves and some other statements in the state so that we understand truly what are the real issues, what are the underlying elements that is creating this confusion. And Mr. President should step in and call the parties to order. So Mr. President should call everybody to order. And I think this is what Rivers people will want. Enough of this confusion. This is not who we are.
Senator Uchendu also said the political crisis in Rivers State over the past 2 years has tarnished the state's image and has caused embarrassment to the people of the state. He appealed to all parties involved, both within and outside the political party, to set aside their differences and resolve their issues in the interest of peace and the future of Rivers State.
This is not the way we should start 2026. As a Rivers man, I feel embarrassed. And I think all well-meaning Rivers people should be embarrassed over what is going on. We love ourselves. This is not why our political prevails. First, and that for the creation of Rivers State. I will plead with all seriousness that those who have issues to resolve within their parties should do so with the interest of Rivers State at heart. Enough of this scrambling for the soul of Rivers State.
Well, residents of Rivers State are also urging caution. Some civil servants in Rivers State appealed to members of the State House of Assembly to place the overall interest of the state above personal and political considerations. The civil servants made the appeal in interviews at the State Secretariat complex with correspondent Suebi Oruware. They warned that heightened political tension can distract governance and service delivery.
We are not in support of that impeachment. Now they started impeachment again. It's for their own selfish interest, not for the interest of the Rivers people.
The governor was suspended for 6 months. That 6 month suspension it's like 6 years backward to Rivers State. The governor had just moved to APC, and the APC have the majority in the assembly. Who is beating this drum?
I have benefited a lot from this present governor. It really affected civil servants. So please, I advise them not to try it again. What this governor is trying to do is to make peace.
We are with the governor, so anything they are doing on their own. Civil servants, we are behind our governors, Siminalayi Fubara, because he knows that we have been doing the work and we have been coming to work. The entitlement of the 100,000 naira. The past administration for 8 years did not give us anything. So him that gave us, we are thankful for him.
Other residents of Rivers State have called for calm. The residents appealed to the lawmakers to prioritize peace and stability.
And with the employment we are even expecting, we've not seen anything. So if they want to impeach him, it will be very, very bad for us. Beg them for them to leave him.
It's very sad, first for the state, because since the reception of this administration, the state has not been going well due to the political tussle that is going on. For me, it's a very sad one for the state.
So anything that's going against it's against we in the Rivers State. They should leave Fubara alone. Let peace reign in this Rivers State.
The governor should be allowed to flow for the 8 years, 4 years, as the case may be. Before you should be impeached, you should do something to warrant impeachment. Christmas bonus, 100,000 that he gave to civil servants. Is that an offense?
That man is a peaceful man. They should allow him to rule Rivers State to complete his tenure.
Fubara is a peaceful man and he's a godsend to Rivers State. So let all Rivers people gather together and pray for him. No matter how they try to impeach him, that God should intervene.
Civil society groups have also voiced concerns. The leadership of the civil liberty organizations in River State has urged members of the State House of Assembly to exercise restraint in the ongoing impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Speaking in an interview with correspondent Suebi Oruware, the state CLO chairman Sonny Dada cautioned that while lawmakers possess the constitutional power to impeach, such action would not address the underlying political challenges confronting the state. He warned against the use of impeachment as a tool for political retaliation.
We have specific demands for the lawmakers and for the governor. First, for the lawmakers, we call on them to drop whatever impeachment proceeding they have commenced. We ask them to halt it. We do not think that that is in the best interest of the state. As for the governor, we call on him to urgently present the budget to the lawmakers for legislative action. It is a constitutional responsibility on the part of the governor to do that, and that constitutional responsibility must be carried out because it is in the interest of the state.
Dada further called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene and ensure that the fresh impeachment proceedings do not plunge River State into another round of political crisis.
Because we are getting to a point of no return, they must be reminded that River State must not be sacrificed on the altar of political power struggle. We're a very critical economic and strategic hub, and so anything that happens here can affect the ultimate destiny of the country. And that is why we're also calling on the president to intervene at this point, because we don't want anything that will lead to governance paralysis or civil unrest in this, because I tell you, such an action would trigger so many unpredictable outcomes.
Now, on Thursday, the River State House of Assembly started impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odo, citing allegations of gross misconduct. The notice listed 7 allegations, including the demolition of the Assembly complex, extra budgetary expenditure, withholding of funds meant for the Assembly Service Commission, and alleged disobedience of a Supreme Court ruling on the financial autonomy of the legislature. 26 lawmakers endorsed the notice a few hours after receiving documents containing alleged gross misconduct against Governor Siminalayi Fubara from 26 lawmakers. Speaker Martin Samihule transmitted letters containing the allegations to the governor and his deputy, Ngozi Odo. The letters, entitled Notice of Allegations of Gross Misconduct, brought pursuant to Section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, was dated January 8 and signed by Amihule. Now, in the letter, Amihule informed the governor that the number that signed the notice represented 2/3 of the membership of the assembly. He asked the governor to reply to the allegations of gross misconduct accordingly. A similar letter was also sent to the deputy governor, Ngozi Odo. Meanwhile, chairman of the House Committee on Information, Petitions and Complaints, River State House of Assembly, Enemy George, has dismissed claims that the ongoing impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara is influenced by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Speaking on Channels Television, he insists that the lawmakers were acting strictly within constitutional provisions and not at the behest of any political figure. In the meantime, the Emeka Bekele-led APC River State has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the River State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odo, describing the move as destabilizing and unnecessary. Speaking in an interview, the party spokesperson, Darlington Muonyili, urged members of the House of Assembly to withdraw the impeachment notice in the interest of the party. He said lawmakers who are loyal to the APC should immediately suspend all impeachment proceedings and instead refer the matter to the party leadership for internal resolution.
And so we advise strongly that this impeachment threat and that process would have to be withdrawn in the larger interest of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State, because you cannot claim to be members of the APC and then turn around to be plotting on destabilizing APC addition, and then their loyalty must be seen not to be to any individual but to our party, and that party is the APC.
Muonyili insisted that the issue is an internal party matter that can be resolved through dialogue if the appropriate party structures are properly engaged.
As members of the All Progressive Congress, we would not support the destabilization of an APC-controlled state. Majority of the members of the State Assembly have announced their defection into the All Progressive Congress, meaning that this is an affair that can be sorted out in-house and resulting according to the use of impeachment.
Well, in the same vein, a constitutional lawyer, Dr. Innocent Ekwu, has described the impeachment notice issued against River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, as lacking good faith. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, Dr. Ekwu said the governor cannot be accused of misappropriating state funds, as the 2025 budget approved by the National Assembly remains valid.
That impeachment notice is dead on arrival and does not have any efficacy on the following grounds. Number one, government of a state operates by budget, and the budget that was approved by the National Assembly is still effective and running. And so they cannot accuse the governor of misappropriating funds because the budget is ongoing and is running. Secondly, a state governor has power to spend from his proposed budget even up to 6 months of the year, pending when the budget is passed by the State House of Assembly. These are not grounds for impeachment.
Dr. Ekwu further noted that the impeachment process does not begin and end with members of the House of Assembly alone. Now, he said other institutions are involved in the process and expressed confidence that such bodies will not support actions capable of undermining due process. We go on a quick break. When we return, former council chairman Ihuo asks FCT Minister Wike to show proof of 10,000 youth employment. Do stay with us. further alleged that the minister's criticism was aimed at instigating youth against Governor Siminalayi Fubara ahead of the 2027 general elections.
And I want to challenge the FCT minister. He should tell Rivers people how many persons he gave employment later for that employment. He's aware and that Governor Fubara